I've kind of mentioned it to Gary Thompson that needs to check with him. They fly down the road. There was no water. The dirt was messed up, so I don't know if they were just going down like I've seen them in the daytime with their little wheel running, spreading it all over the place and just going on. They are not very attentive to doing proper street sweeping. I've got a mess in my street. I've got dirt and rocks and leaves and everything, and the street needs to be swept. So I would like that the city council check into that. And as I've seen on some of the Facebook pages, there's been quite a few comments this last week about the same thing, about the street sweeper not doing their job. And he went out and he just, all he did was just drive by. So is the guy just putting miles on his truck, or are they actually doing some street sweeping? And if they're doing street sweeping, they need to make sure that the equipment is operating, that you're getting water, that it's sucking up the dirt, and when it gets full, it needs to be dumped someplace, not just continue on. So that's number 2. Number 3, my favorite comment at this deal. What are we doing with code enforcement regarding our illegal vendors? They're still out. That code enforcement man that is supposed to be working the weekend, I have not seen your city car out. I'm out most weekends. And I see these vendors all over. The taco vendors have pretty well gone away because of the taco trucks now being licensed, and they're prolific over the company. Over the city. Something to think about, a community event. Why not have a truck fest and invite the lobster trucks and the trucks from LA to come in and have a truck fest up here at the old Albertson Lot or something. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Senator. So here's something that we will do to staff. George, I would like you to provide the council with a status update on specifically the street sweeping issue. I know for a fact that they have GPS on them, so we would know exactly when and where. It is always a possibility that the street sweeper that you saw in the evening had nothing to do with our system, because construction sites and they hire street sweepers in the evenings, and this could just have been some random thing, but we want to verify that the street sweeping is taking place over there. So if you can provide us a report next week, and obviously get back to Spencer on that too. And as well, the next thing I'm going to ask for, a staff report. This is actually, as several of you have mentioned, yes, our police force is, the Sheriff's Department is contracted with us to be our police department. So Lieutenant Young, who is here in the audience tonight, is the lieutenant, but he is also our chief of police for our police station. I would like to get a full report, Lieutenant, Captain, Chief, of what exactly you can tell me about everything, the way these phone calls are handled when somebody calls in a complaint about the CDFA showing up at their door. I want to report how that's handled, the time that it takes for somebody to arrive on scene. I get it. This is a hostile situation and can escalate out of control extremely quickly. I want to know what our sheriffs are doing to not only get there, but to then verify if these individuals, who they are, and if they're legally allowed to be there. Our police department would be able to look at the warrant and see if there's some kind of paperwork, or whatever paperwork they're trying to have you sign, which I haven't personally seen, so I don't have anything I can comment on it. But I want our sheriffs to give us, the council, a report before next Wednesday's meeting. I'd like to see everything that the sheriffs have done. We would love to work in concert with the CDFA, the residents, and the sheriff all together, but it does not seem like this has been happening. And we're gonna dig deep and find out what we can. So I want to see that report before Wednesday at 6 p.m. if that could be arranged. And then we'll move on to the next speaker, Marilyn Blackwell. Marilyn? Going once, twice? Okay, the next speaker, D. D. And if you can let us know your last name too, for the record, please. Unless that is your last name. I don't want to presume. Use the hand mic back.
My last name is Erigoyen. Y-R-I-G-O-Y-E-N. Okay, I live in Mariona, and I never met SOB people before. It's a great, great, great group of people. The first day, some people came to my house, put sign on my door. I wasn't there. Second day they came, and they said that I had so many hours to get a hold of an attorney or fill it. I can't see well. I have bleeding cataracts. I'm a retina. So my son came home. He was an hour late. They said, no, you're late. You cannot fight this. So our friend told us about SOB. They were right there, Johnny on the spot. The next day they came to kill my bird. I was hysterical. They came with animal control. They looked at my horse. I have a 33-year-old horse. I'm a widow. Now I have to get a vet, come out, age my horse, and say, this horse is okay. I don't have the money for this. I have 3 pot-belly pigs. I have to get another vet to come out and say, my pigs are okay. I mean, and they didn't come for my animals, they came for my chickens. Well, luckily they didn't take my chickens because the SOB, they all left. I mean, I don't understand this, how they can come to my house and just tell me, everything has to go. You know, that, I have, like I said, I'm a widow. I have nothing left. I have a son, and I have my dogs, and that's it. This was mine and my husband's life. And they just want to take it. They have a helicopter flying over my backyard to see what's in my yard. Ask me. Don't spy on me. You know, say, hey, Dee, what's in your backyard? But I have 3 or 4 chickens. I've been to other places where they kill the chickens and they come to the other house, but the dead chickens in the back of the truck. I mean, to dispose of these chickens, they go to a dump and just throw them out there. And this is spread so easily, you know, who's walking on it? The birds, the seagulls are eating these animals. Aren't they spreading it? I mean, but they're coming to our door, and our chickens are in our yard. They're not flying around visiting everybody. They're taking them to fields and having people that are cleaning the field just dump them in the field. I mean, this is not right. And I mean, I'm nobody. I'm just a little person. But I love my animals. I have dogs and cats, and I don't feel it's right. I don't think that people should come and stick a note on my door and say, I'm going to kill your animals in 3 days. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I thank you.
Thank you. And next is William Goyen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My mother was just up here a moment ago. I just want to reiterate some of the things that she had previously stated. When they showed up, they had no reason to contact Animal Services. There was no, my horse is 33 years old. She's sway back, she's old. When horses get old, they tend to just thin down. It's just unfortunately a fact of life, just like with elderly people. They eat less, they exercise less, they tend to let the body go. They showed up, tried to intimidate us with animal control services. I denied them access to my property. They sent the officer on the yard. He said that my chickens were healthy. Mind you, I've informed the CDFA that my chickens were vaccinated. I told them, I supplied them with proof, I told them they'd be vaccinated monthly on the dot with the vaccine. Not interested at all. Didn't care. I then got involved with Save Our Birds organization because CDFA angered me. Before I had been a very passive person to think, okay, there's a disease out there. I understand that there's possibly a problem. Now, granted, I haven't seen it. I haven't heard of anybody testing negative. CDFA claims it, but yet there's no transparency. Last week, actually 2 days ago, I was in the Glen Avon area of Jurupa Valley, near Glen Avon Elementary School. They brought a truck there with dead birds in the back of they brought it literally onto this guy's yard. The one deal that this man made was, I want my property to be biosecure. Last time you were here, you guys killed chickens by bringing in the virus into my property. They brought this bunch of dead birds in the back of this truck and parked it on his driveway. They're not even honoring their own agreements that they're making with the residents of the city. They're constantly doing political double talk that politicians are quite honestly so well known for. That is why so many people, I blame Jurupa Valley for this. You guys are causing the citizens to move their birds. You are causing them to make them move because they feel the city does not care. They feel like the city's saying, it's your problem, not ours. We're just going to wash our hands of it. It's a state issue. You are causing the problem, if there is a problem, to spread by failure to act. You're allowing them to bully and manipulate and to continue this practice is only going to make the condition worse. Because you're going to have more residents that are going to resist, more residents that are going to move birds out of the area. There are more residents going to move birds within the area that are going to spread the disease. You guys need to do something other than just saying, I'm going to check into it.
Next is Erica Perez. Erica. Okay, I'm going to go through the cards that nobody answered the first go around. Is Victor R.M. No. Daniel Panetta, Marilyn Blackwell, and Erica Perez. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you, everybody. You know, I can at least tell you this much. We hear what you're saying, and it doesn't go in one ear and out the other. It's still inside the heart. And so we are going to do what we can to dig into this as deep as we can. Obviously, we don't control what the state does, but if they're manhandling our residents illegally, improperly, we certainly can jump up and step up to the plate and make sure that whatever they are doing is by the book. Okay? It cannot be just random people doing what they feel like because they have a badge and a chicken thing. I'm sure we can call it, but point is that we sense your frustration. I appreciate the fact that we were able to listen to everybody's comments in what I consider a very civil way. And I appreciate that. I think the whole council and staff appreciates the fact that we can converse and you can tell us what's on your mind in a very polite way, but we get it really deep down. So we are not going to just take this line down. We are here for you. You are our residents and we live here too. You know, we're not from outside the area looking in. I live in Glen Avon, okay? I'm in the middle of this, just like every single person sitting up here. We all live here, and we all care. That's why we do what we do. So we will, I can only promise you that we will do everything in our power to do something that's right. And we will take it step by step. But we will start with finding out what the sheriff does in regards to this, and we will see what the CDFA says next Wednesday. Okay, so I encourage you all to be at that meeting. Next Wednesday, the Jurupa Unified School District Parent-Teacher Center, the new center that's open right there at the corner of Jurupa Road and Pedley. It's right there on Jurupa Road. You can't miss it. But I think we'll have something on the city website on our calendar. Terry will put something on there for this meeting, so please spread the word that this is going to happen. It's not going to be a microphone situation. You're going to go table by table to speak to whoever the CDFA has there, and you will have council support to get to the bottom of it, okay? So with that, I'm going to just let us take a 10-minute break to stretch our legs. It's been quite a lengthy public period of comments, and we thank you again for all of your comments tonight.